Skyworks has a long catalog of films, and some films are just left on their own, or there are some films that may have a second or third film that may feel like it may need a movie to close out a franchise, or a movie just simply needs a sequel. And there are some that don't need a sequel, they can stay on their own. But today I want to cover this topic because I've seen a lot of comments of a lot of wishes for certain sequels, such as, obviously,
Top Notch Babysitter 4.
Specifically, there's a large group of people for the
Zootropolis
to come back, and, well, there was a group for
Captain Plungerpants 3.
but I still don't consider that canon at all. But today I want to cover these topics, and let me know down in the comments what you guys think. What
Skyworks
movies do you think should get sequels? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. Obviously, starting off, we have
Boss Toddler.
Now, this one, it's most likely gonna happen.
The Business Rush Season 4.
It ended off with
Jim, Boss Toddler, and Jeremy eyeing down Cat Noir and Ladybug,
which is obviously
hinting at a continuation.
so
Boss Toddler 4
is definitely happening at some point, we just don't know when. We're not sure if it's gonna be 2025 because
Skyworks usually
drops 2 movies a year, and those 2 movies looks like it's gonna be
Emma the Pop Star and The Good Guy
2, but we'll just have to see. As for how I feel about it, I
mean BT3.
wasn't a fine conclusion, so
A BT4.
really only seems there because
They're trying to compete with Alka and make more movies than them. Same with BT5, 6, 7, 8.
of course they have to make it, but if there's a reason for it to exist, we'll just have to see.
Top Notch Babysitter 4.
On the other hand, that I can see happening and having a reason to happen. Honestly, nobody expected a sequel to
Top Notch Babysitter in his 3rd movie.
be good, but here we are, it's still
The 2 mainline films
being one of the most acclaimed animated movies of
2021 and 2024.
and in regards to
4th,
it's very likely a lot of people would show up for it.
Top Notch Babysitter 4.
There's lots of stories to tell in
In this comic book superhero,
universe, and it feels right to complete this as a
at least 12 movies, maybe even more. See, I love this franchise so much and I never want it to end. It's amazing. The franchise is popular, as many movies as possible.
would be nice to have, you know? The first movie was good, second movie amazing,
And the 3rd movie was amazing.
and who knows what's in store for the
4th,
there's a lot more things to be explored there. That's just my personal opinion.
Boss Toddler 4.
It would be nice, but it
Top Notch Babysitter 4.
just makes sense financially and just at a general standpoint of how people would enjoy it. Next is,
Zootropolis
of course, which,
had an 11th movie in 2022.
and it did amazing at the box office, ranking at
$24 billion.
$1, so
A Zootropolis 12.
is obviously in the works. I just personally don't.
Hope it can fully live up to the expectations of Zootropolis 11.
But something personally I want to happen is,
A Wienerman and Burrito Boy solo movie.
well, this has been brought up a lot around the internet, and I honestly think it can work. A lot of people didn't think that it
The 11th movie.
was going to be able to work as a movie, but here we are, and now it's even more popular on its own.
Epic Blur.
It's his own character at this point now.
A Wienerman and Burrito Boy.
So we could really work. I mean, it would be nice to see,
Them as their own superhero movies going on completely new adventures.
or them just having a solo adventure.
Directly after Zootropolis 11.
It would be really nice to see, you know, a deeper insight into these characters, because they're always there in the movies, but we never really got the main focus on them. So that would be really nice to have them as a solo film. And if it did happen, I'd be all on board. It seems like the movies that
Skyworks is
mostly focusing on now is
Emma the Pop Star, the live-action King and Queen movie, and The Good Guys 2.
which I guess we can segue into our next topic, being
The Good Guys.
Now this is getting a sequel, and I was supposed to make a separate video about it, but I think it's just best to talk about it here. It can work as a sequel because it's obviously a book series, but this plot description is falling a little too in line with
Captain Plungerpants 3.
and I'm not sure how to feel about it. Hopefully, it won't turn out like that. I'm sure it won't, but it's a little worrisome. But I think they can maybe make this work.
Comic book movies thing.
In these movies just haven't been hitting the mark. So, I'm cautious for
Good Guys 2.
but I'm sure it'll turn out fine. Now this is the section where I'm just gonna spitball movies that just generally don't need sequels, not just because they're
Romantic comedies.
just there's no need for a sequel at all. I would say
The Prince of Tennessee.
but chances are it's gonna get a third movie. Even though the second movie really didn't do well.
It only made $70,000 because only people saw it on DVD and it wasn't theatrically released.
And released
2005 on DVD and digital instead of theatrically released.
and nobody liked it. But maybe we'll see if
Skyworks is just going to milk the rom-com genre to death even though it doesn't have anything to do with the rom-com genre that existed to begin with.
I expect
King and Queen.
to continue, so that's another franchise. But I just think that there's one franchise I think is probably the most deserving of a sequel.
Yes, you guys saw that. Captain Plunger Pants 3. And no, I'm not talking the Plunger Pants 3 that released. That FIP ain't canon. I'm talking an actual good Captain Plunger Pants 3 with all the returning voice actors and all the same humor as the first two movies. Not this Greenbeard man, pro-ditcher, and skibbity toilet humor. The actual humor we were presented in the first two Plunger Pants movies, the first epic movie and the second epic movie. And seriously, they didn't even call this film the third epic movie. It was so disappointing. But I think if they call it the third epic movie, made it amazing and very comic accurate, and didn't go off the rails and make it La La Land style with like no meaning to the comics, I think if they made it really comic accurate, made it great, made it amazing, and brought all the same voice actors back from the first two movies and even call it the third epic movie, classic. I don't care as much about the animation. I just hope they did a good job with this. And that's all I have for you folks.
Trolls DreamWorks' Puss in Boots' third movie, The Bad Guys. DreamWorks